when you're choosing a costume, it's not, to me, it's usually like, which version do I want? What kind of aesthetic do I want? So here's an example of just Fluttershy that I decided to take. I can go the route with very natural, fairy type, or maybe a ball gown, because it's a ball, or you can be more creative and do like an armor of her. Because this is the deal with MLP costumes. You can do whatever you please. It's a pony. It's not a human, so you can do whatever you please. And that's why I love MLP costumes. Because if I'm cosplaying from a video game, it's like, I have to make that. Like, it needs to look exactly like the picture. But with MLP, you can do whatever you want. Because it's a pony. So remember that, nothing is wrong, especially with MLP costumes. You can do whatever. This is a Swedish saying, taget oss vatten över huvudet. Don't bite it off more than you can chew. And of course, panic Twilight. People often ask me with their first costume, like, Yami, I want to do my first costume. I'm like, great, what will you do? And they're like, I want to do this Gundam that's 2 meters high, and it will be made out of armor. And I'm like, as your first costume? Maybe you shouldn't do that as your first costume. Or if you have plenty of time. I mean, time is always. If you have 2 years to make a costume, it will look amazing. I promise. So that's like, I've done this myself. Of course, I mean, we're all guilty. But if you're making a costume, remember the time. Like, you can't work, I work like 15 hours a day on a costume. And it's really not that. I don't recommend it. And of course, if everything fails when you're working with the costume, I usually cry a lot, and then I rethink. Because every single one of my costumes that I made, it's always like, it looks perfect, and then I try it on, and I'm like, oh, I can't snap my back. It's too tight, or it's too big. And I have to like scrap the entire costume and like start over again. It happens on every single costume. And it helps, because the costume actually turns out better after the changing. I don't know, it's like chaos theory or something. It always gets better. So, let's say you have finished your costume, and now it's time to finally go to the convention. But we need some stuff to bring, right? We can't just bring our costume, because that would be so easy and so much fun. We have to bring stuff. Usually, sewing repair kits for cosplay, like, sewing threads, needles, hot glue gun, stuff like that. Makeup, because if you're running around in a costume for 15 hours, you need to like put on more makeup if you're wearing makeup. Wig comb, always comb your wigs. Remember that? Always comb your wigs. If you have 5 minutes that you're free, comb your wig. Okay? Food and snacks, and with cosplay friendly, I mean, don't eat a giant tube McDonald's burger. Or sushi, when you're dropping the sushi piece into the soy and you're like, yeah, that was fun. So always try to, I usually go for soups, or stuff you can drink, or protein shakes. Then after the cosplay is done, I will do it today, I will like binge food, like crazy.